Right, so we're at this one here. Apparently it's got intermittent EA and it's been booked in for electrodes. Looking at them electrodes, it's got the new style like star bolt thing. So straight away I'm thinking it's probably not going to be that. But I thought, because I'm here for it, I'll just check it out anyway. But what I noticed is when I turn this off, it's not actually turning on and off the boiler. So my first thought was maybe it's some kind of weird board issue that's giving it intermittent, and then I thought, well, I suppose I should check out the wiring first, because I've never really had that before. I mean, even for a minute I started doubting myself, thinking does it even turn it off, which is quite crazy, but that's what happens. What is that going on? Okay, that's not good. Just gonna stop the video and try and put the light on. So I was just looking at it then, I was thinking, why have they done that for? And I was trying to think of like a crazy reason why they wouldn't have like the permanent live and neutral at the boiler, and how come they've done it like that and how it works. So I just kind of try and get my head around it a little bit. And I was even thinking how to rectify it, and then I kind of thought, hang on a minute, I wonder if they've just got what they thought is obviously live and neutral and thought, but you put it in the supply as opposed to the live and the neutral terminal. So you know, people do get that confused sometimes between load and supply. Best way I know is always shoot your load. So here we're just checking out the fault code on the boiler. Basically you hold this button and then soon enough it will come up with your menu. It's on 6A straight away because I'd already just been in it, but you just scroll up and down there to find it, and then this will give you your last fault code, which is EA. So now I'm just gonna have a little look for the EA fault. Obviously working pressure's all good, stuff like that. I haven't analysed it at this point. Just undo them nuts, pull off the air intake, and then excuse me, what I do is I take the clip out of the gas pipe. I don't actually undo it off the gas valve, then just give it a good tug down, and you can get it moved out of the way. So yeah, there's the bearing plate. So that's the bearing plate there. It's a little bit sticky on that left side. That right side's definitely blocked, well, stuck I should say. Some people do just take these out. Me personally, I always want to try and have it in the boiler. So what I'll do, I'll get it booked in. I know obviously you can, you know, try and clean them up and all that kind of stuff, but we'll just get a new one. So that's it now, just popping the fan back in. Give them nuts a little nip up. Clip back in. At this point, if you ain't already subscribed, consider liking and subscribing. I'm going to try and do half decent content. That's what I want to be doing realistically. Good, interesting stuff that maybe help people out. You know, the weird and the wonderful jobs. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to analyse it and do a negative fan pressure. What I do when I got the case off, I kind of clip it into the top case. Saves it falling down and whacking you on the head. So I'm just putting it in high fire mode. So it was a little bit high. So I'm just going to adjust it down slightly. On the high, you adjust it down by turning it to the right. And then it's the reverse for the low. So on high you'll turn it to the right to make it lower, and on the bottom you'll turn it to the left to make it go lower. God knows why I just said bottom. I was meant to say on the minimum setting it'll be left to go low. Anyway, so that's negative hand pressure all okay. Now I've got it on the low mode. We're at 9.4. Let's grab yourself a 4mm Allen key. And you take off the covering screw, and then you're just going to give it a little tweak to the left to lower it. Right, so, I mean, you might get a bit bored of this bit now. All I'm going to basically do is just analyse it, put the case back on it, and reanalyse it and do a flue integrator. So if you want to fast forward a bit onto the next one, and I'll see you there. Right, so we're at this other job here. Now I'm here for a service, and the customer says that he only has the pressure on just under half a bar, because when he runs the boiler it goes all the way up to maybe 2.5 bar. So I thought, well, that's obviously not quite right. So I give the vessel a little squeeze. Did seem like it had air in it. I didn't check to see if it was completely flat, but it definitely had air in it. But I just thought this is a nice little tip on how to check the expansion hoses to see if they're blocked. So what you do, you connect your pump up to the expansion vessel after you've drained the boiler, and all you basically do is top up the boiler pressure. So obviously when you do drain the boiler, you'll have to have like the return valve opened, otherwise when you open it back up to top it up, it'd increase the pressure, as in the system pressure. So drain the boiler with the return valve open, then connect up your pump, and then basically you're just going to top up the boiler pressure. Now, obviously what should happen is if the expansion vessel hose is blocked, when you top up the boiler pressure, you won't get a pressure increase on your pump that's connected to the expansion vessel. Obviously, if you've got one bar in the system and your expansion vessel isn't reading as having anything in it, then you know you've got a blocked hose. Now, if you put one bar in the system and your expansion vessel is now reading 1 bar, then the water's obviously able to get into there. Hope that makes sense. So there we go, that's that pumped up. Put back on your little dust cap. I always struggle sometimes opening and closing them, although it is one of the better drain offs on boiler manufacturers, I reckon. No, that's pretty much it. Open back up your valves. If you like the video, like, comment and subscribe. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. And I should have quite a long video coming out at the weekend with a few more tips and tricks in it. So until the next one, have a good one.